affluent communities here. And with all of the climate gentrification happening around here, it is very apparent here in Miami that it is those whose ancestors are colonizers and those who benefit from systems of oppression like racism and colonialism who are feeling the least effects of the climate crisis, and those who are on the receiving end and on the victim end of colonialism and racism are feeling the worst effects of the climate crisis. So we're not just here to ask that Miami declare a climate emergency, we're asking for climate justice. So what we're essentially planning this weekend is we have a series of workshops, trainings, and amazing speakers all coming to the summit to help give Miami youth resources to fight the systemic oppression, to fight the, pardon my language, bullshit that the fossil fuel industry is spewing. And we all really sincerely hope that you can make it to the Youth Climate Summit so that we can take this fight through 2020 and we can finish it within the 11-year period that the IPCC has predicted. I want to lead you guys in a chant because right now we are standing in a place that has many communities that may soon become climate refugees. And that is an emergency. And the people in there behind us are not treating it like an emergency. So I want to make it so loud that not only can they hear us, but everyone in all those hotels and office buildings and whatever the heck these fancy buildings are can hear us. Ready? Declare climate emergency! 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 Declare climate emergency!
Los cambios de clima se han convertido en un crisis global y solamente nos queda 11 años para reducir las emisiones de carbono, lo más posible para que el planeta no se caliente más de 2 grados Celsius. Somos el futuro.
¡Sí lo somos!
The shiny, bright future promised to us from a young age slips away with every moment of inaction. Activism is not a pastime anymore. It's our only form of survival. Just like Greta Thunberg said, I want you to panic. I want you to feel the fear. I feel every day. We are running out of time. Do your part. Teach people about the climate emergency. Protest. Vote. Tell your friends and family. Do your best. Push your limits and be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you.
I want everybody to take a look at these amazing, inspiring young people. Because when I was their age, I'm 26 years old. When I was their age, I didn't have my head on straight. And think about what it is. And all of you with cameras are much older than them. You have a responsibility to this planet for them and for people like them. I wanted to start off by saying this song. Come gather around people wherever you roam and admit that the waters around you have grown and accept it soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time for you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone because the times are changing. This is a commonly used trope. This is life and death. And it makes me so sad to think that we are so desensitized to information, to images that make us like complacent and apathetic, and in our ignorance we can just safely be in our homes while people are out there in the world. But let me tell you, when I've heard the stories of children being separated from their mothers and the women crying in Spanish, I think of my mother, an immigrant, and what it would have been like for her to have me at 8 years old taken away from her. And that is heartbreaking. The xenophobic rhetoric that makes it so that we can build the walls and build up all of these barriers between us are simply there because when shit hits the fan, what's going to end up happening is people are going to be displaced and leaving their homes. This weighs heavily on my conscience. I would love to have a family. I would love to have children. I would love to be able to look at a future and see a bright one, but I don't see that right now. Whether or not we are able to come to zero carbon emissions, that doesn't change the fact that there are microplastics and plastics and pesticides, herbicides, fungicides in our water. Right now, you all look really healthy because we have clean drinking water. What's going to end up happening? Look right there. We're in front of City Hall. That's flooding, and that's only going to get higher. No, seriously, turn around. Look at it.
Yeah, please do.
Please do.
Please do. The train's not working.
Look at that. And that's going to be happening everywhere. And that's exactly what they're talking about. Gentrification. This is life or death. And people are going to be dying. People are going to be dying. And there's going to get to a point that there's not going to be anything left to do. So please, take a stand, take action, do something. Because unfortunately, the people who are behind us refuse to acknowledge the problem. And if they refuse to acknowledge the problem, we cannot have conversations to fix these problems. Again, it is not just about the carbon, it is about our water. It is about the air. It is about our future. So, you have to be a little bit louder for here. Let's be a little bit louder here for the people that could not make it. Because we're already at the point at which 100,000 people die every single year due to climate change. And we might not see it. It might not be on our front lawn when we're in our office and air conditioned. And we might not see it like we see it now. But it's happening up there. It's only going to get worse. I feel like everyone has their own story with this. Everyone has their own experience. I got asthma because I grew up next to a coal plant. And that fucked up my life. I got sick eating fish out of the rivers that were polluted behind our home back in Illinois. And then I came here and I saw how it affected everyone. How there's so many homeowners out there who don't know what they're going to do in 30 years. There's so many people living in places that are getting flooded every single hurricane season over and over. And these aren't the wealthiest people who can afford the best insurance. These are your regular working class people. These are your Miami citizens, Mayor. And we need more action. Not just at the city level, but at the county level, at the state level, at the federal level, internationally. We need more action. And that's why we're here today. That's why we're going to be here next Friday and every Friday until something gets done.
Yeah.
Because people are dying. And we need to do more. And our politicians can do more. And we can all do more. So I think that's the message here today. This is only going to get worse. But we have the opportunity to act. We have the opportunity to become superheroes in our own right. We can save lives. We might not have super speed or be able to fly or see through walls, but we can stand together. We can come together, organize, we can stay together, and we can fight together. And eventually we'll win. And eventually the people up in that building, they'll come down here and they'll join us too. I think that's what we really want, just to work with the mayor, work with the state legislators, work with our Congress people. We just want to work together for this because it's not about political will anymore. It's not about political ideology. It's about survival. And this is a 0 hour. This is our last chance. This is our last stand. So we're calling for action now. Thank you.
We are here to say we're never gonna back down. We won't turn away. To create where there's a will, there's a way. There's a way. Cries. Sing this one with me. We will rise to the time. You won't push us to the side. Hear our voices, hear our cries. Hear our voices, hear our cries. Hear our voices.